Hello and welcome. Today's date comes in that of Friday, first day of November 2019. My name is Derek. Like always, all bets, trades, and of the like, that's within each's own risk and their own reward. For myself, risk reward management is always job number one. Yesterday, amongst the Skycoin on the 1300 hour timestamp, price action jumping from the 6700 to 7500 rally. What's it done ever since? Well, interesting how it's been playing amongst this uptrend line. It is a shit coin, but only price pays, and the movement of such, well, it moves as far as the numbers up and down. And we've had, of course, a big move up, this big move down, another attempt at reaching previous high, back down to this continuous. This trend hasn't ended yet of this sideways move. And a little bit of this extra volatility, some more of this extra testing around the 76 handle mark recently. So we'll see how this thing ends up going. When we take a look at this on some other time frames, say for example the 8 hour term, this was a situation in which you had a key low and a key high. And amongst that there were several key highs and lows along the way. Of course this 18 average did a good job in holding. Well, now it's filled up so far up to this point in here, and for the first time since this market has been declining on this particular time frame, the 1/3 day chart or 8 hour, it's just holding in there within the 18. So just attempting to get this thing back going, hasn't done anything yet, but obviously if it does, I would expect it to come up towards the 87 to 80 in the 87, 88 area relatively fast on the daily chart. This was a situation in which the price action from this low had one of its rallies. It's the best one that it's had, I think. Well, this one here was okay, I guess, in June. And this was just a long sideways time correction. And not in a situation of lower highs, lower lows. It most certainly could easily come in and have this test, maybe not even support it, maybe do something like this and go lower. And again, at some point, these things at any given time can have spectacular moves towards the upside at any given time. Whether it will or not, I don't know. If it does, I'll just react to the situation accordingly. And of course, I got this at very, very low stakes, as again, risk reward management job number one. Let's move on to Bitcoin. First, the market cap for BTC. It's in at 165. It's right at this Fibonacci level, 165 billion. And this is basically going to reflect everything that we see as far as the Bitcoin move. But technical analysis in here, you have this major support level, which is supported quite often. And if you break below it, I'm looking for a next move to key level at 108. And it didn't go anywhere near there, halfway through, 50% retracement. So now, after doing such, price is managed, or the numbers on here, it's not really a price. I guess it is a price, or dollar number, either way. It's gotten above this conjunction level of 150 and has been stabilizing within this level. I can't tell yet if this 165 mark is going to be support or resistance because it could work either way. If this goes like this and we have a move down, well, that's just simple typical case of breaking key level, finding a support level on the way to your key target, resisting an area that was support, and then of course making it down lower. So this little area here, I think at around 150 billion on the market cap. That's if you see weakness within that area, then that would definitely be a real reason for concern that it could go down to 100 or even like 108. But yeah, 105, 104, 106 area, I guess suppose I should say. That would be a large pierce, although it could do it. 100 is a large pierce below 108. And are we supporting this area? We've already established this resistance at 185 and even some other ones in the previous days around 175. If we do see support from this lifting off, well, this is that typical failed breakdown that I've talked about. And let's take a look at Bitcoin because it's got the exact same pattern pretty much. As it broke down below support at 78.5, there was that little move in there and has stayed above, held above this little area here. So its must hold area, we can say 83.37. That is, if it fails below that, well, now we're talking about this 2 day rally. It was really 1 day rally. It didn't happen, it happened pretty fast. That brought the price from 74 up to 10 and change, or a move of like 30% in like just no time at all. If that's a failed move, well then obviously the 6,300 level that I've been talking about would come into play. Successfully being able to correct from this level means getting above, which means we end up getting above this level of resistance at 10.35. And to me, that's the upper end of this range between 12,000 and 14,000 as its next key target. Bitcoin dominance, just going to be still in the wait and see situation as we've had this level of resistance established in here. And again, getting above this level in here would be talking about, well, between a decent lower high, which is 71 and three quarters, up to previous high at 73 and a half. And if I see it starting to leave above in here, like in the 70 and a third area, then I'm, especially in the next couple of days, I'm going to give this good precedence to have a break above this. And as it goes from the moves, the volatility, for what it's worth, whether the moves have been going up or down, have been very small. And it's been a waiting game for bigger volatility, and it's overall still good as it is. It's just big volatility in a big volatile market environment, because the movements that you have on a day-to-day level on cryptos compared to like currency markets are just incredibly different. I say something like Ethereum against Bitcoin. This is a market that's lower on the volatility scale, but it had a rally from this low to this high. And we can see how we're looking at resisting this previous area. Spent a lot of time in this mark, but this down move in here, what's it done since? It's now come to the 18, and now for the last few days, just hanging in there on the declining 18 to this manner. So I'm looking at this as if it wouldn't surprise me if it does manage to make those moves. But within the volatility, this is a spot where the price is a 228 handle. It was a 160. So that's a differential of like 60 basis points on 160. That's like 40% just here to here. And I'm talking about this being low market environments, which it kind of is, but we have seen before just how fast these moves could happen. Back in here in 2017, this goes from, we'll say 114 handle to the 1400 handle. It had like a 12x move just from like February, March of until like June. That's like 3, 4 months. So whenever they're ready for big moves, they can happen. But again, comparing it to like the currency markets, and I'll just happen to plop in the U.S. Canadian dollar cross, which here had a high of 105.87 and a low here of 68. So differential of like 37 points on 67. So that's over 50% in the span of this decade. So when we take a look at just some of the stuff going on for the year, as I mentioned, just what Ethereum does, like 30-40% moves. Well, this entire range has a high of 768. It has a low of 738. That's a differential of like 30 basis points on that. That's like 4 to 5% range bound market that has been in play since for the entire year, for the last 12 months. And yeah, that's what the nature of these markets are. If you are looking for lower volatile markets, maybe crypto's not for you. But obviously, if you're watching this video, most likely you don't trade these kind of markets. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But the cryptos is where you're going to get the bigger wins and losses for traders, which also to me signifies if you're looking to invest into cryptocurrencies because of the major, larger volatility, how you can have spectacular gains and losses. You really don't need to put the largest of investments or sizing holdings in to get large gains. I can talk about how if it could work out, you can get 1,000 times gain in 1,000 days ish. If well things work out, you pick the right coins, you trade them well back and forth. There can be spectacular moves that can come into play. But like I say, with your own risk and reward, I'm all playing on the destination and not the journey. The destination of which cryptocurrencies having significant legs higher sometime in the future. And then the journey is all the moves on the way to get there, whether it takes 4 months or 44 months, and then all the moves along the way to get there. Well, however that works is however it works. Alrighty, thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye bye.